are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm your host Juanzo. This time riding solo because Jean Paul is taking care of some other commitments, but he will be joining us for there's going to be live family WrestleMania weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend for Road Break. Thank you for being with us one more time. It is, we're going to be talking about in this particular show about NXT UK Prelude. It was just, like the type of pay-per-view version what NXT UK needed to do, because of course we had like 2 days of NXT Takeover Stand and Delivery. Both reviews are in the channel, so please be with us for all of that. But we're going to be talking about NXT UK Prelude, about this NXT Championship match between Walter and Rampage Brown. So like this one, before we do that though, family, don't forget to check, like I said, this video of NXT Takeover Stand and Delivery Night 2. Right there, Karrion Kross ends the era of the Prince Finn Balor. A pretty great match, in the beginning, Finn Balor dominated, kind of make fun of Karrion Kross. He tried everything that he could to get the upper hand on him. He equalized everything really quick, just because of the power, the strength that he has. The ending a little flat, but like Jean Paul was mentioning, but in the end, he gets the championship, and also a great match Ascension. Kyle O'Reilly with Adam Cole, another great match that we saw a lot of toys, tools, they went all around the ring. A little bit of more fans, in what is going to be, in what it was, the Thunderdome on NXT. So a lot of good stuff right there. Also a great unification match between Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin for the Cruiserweight Championship. So family, just check the review is in the channel. Thank you talking about the channel. Thank you for the subscriptions, for the love that you give us. Thank you for getting Road Break, to be part of your lives, and also to keep growing every single time. And like I said, family, this is going to be, the review for NXT UK Prelude, and this is going to be the match. This is the match that was supposed to be headlining, instead of Tommaso Ciampa and Walter for the NXT UK Championship. This match was tarnished for me a little bit because of what happened on Wednesday, and a lot of people are loving that match, but we're going to be talking about the match that was supposed to be headlining, this weekend, at least for me. Rampage Brown going toe-to-toe with Walter, great rivalry, guys almost same size, same physique, same athleticism. So that's just going to be, a little later in the show, but thank you one more time. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Also, follow us in the social media world. So let's start from the beginning, family. This match opened up the show, and this is for the #1 contender of the Heritage Cup Championship. I really don't like the fact that they call it a championship. It should just be a belt rather than just a cup. But that's what we have. And the Spaniard A-Kid, he's the one that holds the Heritage Cup. So we get to see these two guys, Tyler Bate and Noam Dar, going to become #1 contenders. Noam Dar in the Supernova sessions, he says he lobbies for an opportunity. He wants a challenge to, he wants an opportunity to challenge A-Kid and then see if he can get that Heritage Cup Championship. Tyler Bate in a new identity, new character that he has, Zen, nothing bothers him. So, do something different that he wants to do, but he wants to focus more on being that wrestler that everybody knows he can be. So that's the one thing that is important to notice in this situation. And like I said, Noam Dar, he clearly from injury, very good. In the first round, they actually finally Tyler Bate scored one pin. So that was different, because normally in the first round they like to just feel each other up, see the strategy, what he's going to be doing, and how can counter, how I cannot do something different so I can start getting the upper hand in the match. But that was good. I like that. Tyler Bate will get the first pin just because he rolled him up, and as Nigel McGuinness said, in the best days of Johnny Saint, he'll do something like that. He went for he was trying to avoid Noam Dar, and then he went and rolled him up, so he get the number 1 pin, or the first pin. And then the match, the other 3-4 rounds, it was just Tyler Bate trying to get another pin, but also Noam Dar trying to equalize the situation. But Noam Dar looked really good. Both guys know what they're doing in the ring. A lot of athleticism. The speed of the match was good. Also Tyler Bate went for the airplane spin. So that he went for a lot, another 10 minutes in the match. He kept going for that, and he kept doing the kind of the Cesaro swing. So that was something different. Also, we got to see, ringside, we got to see Shaw Samuels in the case for Noam Dar, and also Trent Seven for Tyler Bate, reminiscing the days of Masters Mountain. The 4th round, then we got to see Noam Dar applying some pressure in the leg for Tyler Bate, kind of injuring him, making sure that he doesn't feel comfortable walking, and then he will counter, because he was scouting the situation. And also he applied a knee bar and over there, and then he will apply more pressure on it. And then Tyler Bate, because of the speed of the match, because of everything that is happening, he had to tap out. So Trent Seven was trying to recuperate him, just trying to move the leg, move the muscle, so that way he can get better. And then he faces the next round because they already was 1-1. And then right away, like the situation, Tyler Bate goes like for the win. He tries to go really fast, and then we got to see action from Shaw Samuels. We got to see Trent Seven getting involved in the match, and then Noam Dar will try to get the advantage from that, and then he tried to like hit Tyler Bate with the ring steel steps. And then Tyler Bate actually counters, and then he goes for like the Tyler driver, 97. He connects with that, and then he gets the win. And like he becomes the #1 contender of the Heritage Cup Championship. I think that like Jean Paul even mentioned to me, he said Noam Dar would have been the clear winner here. It was a lot better because it was a heel rather than like a babyface in Tyler Bate. And like we've seen that match already for the cup, I think like maybe like 2 months ago with like A-Kid and Tyler Bate. So I really didn't like this too much, like the winner meaning, because the match was good. Like these Heritage Cup matches are always like a little longer, but like they're always like good because like the pace, it always picks up to like the final rounds. So that was really good. But like I said, Tyler Bate gets the win. He is going to be the #1 contender. So we're going to see like maybe next week or in 2 weeks, we're going to see Tyler Bate going 1-on-1 against the Spaniard A-Kid. He cut a promo. He was like clearly, like Jean Paul was saying, he was clearly reading something from like a card that they had, because he's like, oh, I'm really excited that I'm going to be facing Tyler Bate, and I'm going to prove everybody that I am the Heritage Cup champion. So we're going to see what happens. It was going to be a great match regardless, but the only problem is that we've seen it before. So that's what we have. And then after that, this match, we had like the tag team match. This was really good. Meiko Satomura, the final boss. You know, to me, I think that like she's actually like the gatekeeper for the women's division and the real gatekeeper of NXT UK. Ever since she appeared in the scene, like she's been dominating. Even the match with Kaylee Ray, despite coming short, she did a really great job when it comes to like, you know, making sure like the women are represented like with dignity, with integrity, and also like elevating the quality of this division. So we have a returning on Emilia McKenzie. Like it was the first time that I actually saw her. I never seen her before, but like they said that like 2 years ago she debuted on NXT UK, went against, like I said, the champion Kaylee Ray and, you know, the White Witch Isla Dawn. They had a really great showing. You know, this match, it was to showcase like all the best women that they have in NXT UK. Piper Niven wasn't involved, not even Jeannie, but it just, you know, we've seen those rivalries before, so it was good because Emilia McKenzie, it was actually trained by Meiko Satomura. It was saying in commentary that Meiko like is training her, mentoring him, so that's why she had to go to Japan, and now that she's been improving her skills, like her strength, also like her endurance, so all of those things are influencing her to just like become a better wrestler. Isla Dawn, you know, she has like this White Witch identity, this character, this persona that is new, very similar to what Scarlett Bordeaux or like what Scarlett does with like Karen Cross. So, you know, fans that like love like witchcraft and all of that, like they really like can get along, can really identify with what it is Isla Dawn, despite a great showing for the both. You know, both girls here, like when it comes to Emilia and Isla Dawn going against each other. Meiko Satomura, of course, like she's going to give us a great match. And Kaylee Ray, you know, despite everybody like that have some kind of criticism when it comes to Kaylee Ray, she did a fantastic job. In this, like I said, Emilia did like really good moves, like a few like hurricanranas. Like you can say that she's like the speed is right there. Also, like she did a move that like Jean Paul mentioned it to like saying to every single one of you is like she dived, like she kind of like roll around into the turnbuckle, turn it into a spear, and then she hit Isla Dawn with that, and or Kaylee Ray rather, and then she couldn't get the win. But like Nigel McGuinness said on commentary, that's how she always finishes people. That's her finisher outside of like NXT UK. We'll see what happens, but I think that like in the end, like it was a good showing for everybody. Meiko Satomura, like she came short with Kaylee Ray, but like this is also another showing, another time that they can go against each other. It was really good. And Kaylee Ray, I think that like they use her just because she's the champion, so they needed to have like their best talent for NXT UK Prelude, because of course they're gonna go toe to toe with NXT, like the older brother, like Jean Paul said, like NXT America, so with the Stand and Delivery, NXT Takeover. But in the end, you know, Emilia rolls up Isla Dawn, and like they win the match. Like the one thing is like to mention it, like Kaylee Ray did not get the pin, of course, because if she would have got pinned, then it would have been maybe in the WWE fashion, it would have been #1 contender for like what is going to be the women's division. So that's important to mention. But also like this is the big note of importance in this particular match. It's like after this, you know, you see the winners right there. Then we got to see Eva Valkyrie. Eva Valkyrie shows up, and then she's just like kind of eyeing what Meiko Satomura is, and she takes one of her feathers out. And then she just like puts the feather on the floor, and then you pretty much signify that like she's like wants a match with Meiko Satomura. And this is going to be amazing because an undefeated Eva Valkyrie going against Meiko Satomura. This is right away, without even mention, is going to be a #1 contenders match. So I really look forward for this match. And the fact that like finally they're gonna give it like a significant feud to Eva Valkyrie, I'm just really excited for what this is gonna be. So we'll see what happens, but at least finally this girl that like he's had also like a character development. She's insecure, she has some confidence issues, all of those things. Finally, she's gonna have a significant feud, and it's gonna be the best feud that she's ever had in Meiko Satomura. So whoever wins from this, which is gonna be for me Eva Valkyrie, is gonna finally be ready for Kaylee Ray, and then we'll see like when Kaylee Ray probably will drop the championship. So that is going to be what we saw. Pretty good match for, like I said, 4 girls. So we'll see what happens later. So family, next week we're going to be talking about our boy Bruiser Brody's wannabe, Saxon Huxley. We haven't heard from him. We haven't seen him in such a long time. But he's finally going to have a match against Nathan Frazier. So, this guy went through like a name change, Ben Carter. So we're going to see what they can do. But like here, clearly they're pushing like Nathan Frazier. So Saxon Huxley is going to give us probably a great showing, a great match, because that's the one constant. That's the one factor of identity that like NXT UK has, and that is just like they provide good matches, and both guys always look good. It's not going to be a job thing. It's not going to be like a 2-minute thing and then Nathan Frazier gets the the win. No, I think it's going to be a pretty good showing, and Nathan Frazier is going to be they need to be inserted into what is going to be the Heritage Cup Championship. So we'll see what happens, but that is going to be like the next week. We're going to be taking care of that. We're going to be also covering that, family, so be with us for that. Don't forget also, this is going to be interesting because we saw last week in the tag team championship match with Pretty Deadly, these two guys split up. We mentioned this, Jean Paul said like this is going to be the feud because of course best friends, that's what happens when there's so many like situations when they have to break up. Like you could see like the tension, you can see the dissension between these two. Kenny Williams, Amir Jordan actually, there was a backstage segment, he came out rushing, he's like where is him? So pretty similar to Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, respecting the distance. What I'm trying to say by this, it's just it's not as personal as like Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole had, but very similar. Like we were best friends, we had a team, we were about to be champions, and because of you, like we couldn't do this, and now they're going to go against each other. There's going to be war, and they're going to have an opportunity. So good feud between the two. I think Kenny Williams is going to be the star that's going to be pushed, and Amir Jordan, hey, we'll just have to find another person to do tag team with. We'll see what happens on that, family. But like also they have other segments on this show, and that was also like Jack Stars is ready because he was also training with Piper Niven. He was like also like throwing that big bag of sand probably, and he's like, oh, are you ready? And Piper Niven keeps asking him, he's like, oh, are you ready already? He's like, I'm ready. So next week he's going to be able to show what he's ready, what he can do in the ring. He's got that killer instinct, he's got that intensity, he has a chip on his shoulder, he has to prove himself, he wants to be better, he just doesn't want to be that guy that like gets job every single week. So we're going to see also that. So a lot of things happening on NXT UK, so we're going to be covering everything, family. Don't forget, this was going to be a great show also. Every single week they give us 1 hour, easy to digest, is easy to like swallow, because it's just a great show. It's just to your face. You don't have to like walk around, and you don't have stupid spots either, family. So now let's talk about the main part of the show, and this is going to be for the NXT UK Championship. This was going to be, this should have been the match, because to me it's a little tainted, just because on Wednesday we saw Walter against Tommaso Ciampa. Just a few mentions, like a one line mention about the NXT Takeover match. So like Walter defending against Rampage Brown. This match was absolutely great. Not as great as Dragunov. Of course, in order to top that match, you just got to do something, a masterpiece. You got to come twice, 3 times like better than what this was. But for me, at least better than what Ciampa and Walter were. So like this was like more intense. You got to see also Walter in a rated R version rather than like PG version that we saw, like on NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1. But like you saw like the intensity back in Walter. Rampage Brown, same strength, like same height. So you see like two blockbusters colliding. 2 trucks colliding, and that's what we got. A lot of not much speed at the beginning of the match, but we saw 2 trains colliding, like just showing the strength, tackles. Like Rampage Brown did not care that it was Walter. He went for like with same strategy to hurt, just to like make sure that Walter will not get up. We saw the Doctor Bomb also, like Walter end up like like responding to the count, but he rolled up. But like we got to see like Rampage Brown like dominating for a lot of the match, which is good because the champion was in problems. He was in trouble the whole time. And like Nigel McGuinness also, like she was saying like, oh my God, Walter doesn't look as confident now. But then, of course, Walter will do the big comeback. The chops like finally felt legit, and no mention of the hand. So yeah, that tells you that this was tape. I mentioned this in one of the reviews. This is gonna be tape. So like, this is the one thing that tarnished the match a little bit for me, just because we knew that like this was already taped. So like, whoever came out the winner, it didn't matter, because the match that was live was like Walter and Ciampa. And see, WWE don't need to do this kind of things. Like, they book one superstar in both shows. It doesn't make any sense unless you're gonna connect. And you didn't do that. You didn't connect this at all. But in the end, like I said, Rampage Brown had a good showing. I mean, I think a little better than Coffey. And then when the match that they had with Joe Coffey in a few respects. But 20 minutes that they have of a match. Like I said, like the strength of like Rampage Brown is really good. Like, we thought that he was gonna be the man. He was gonna dethrone Walter. The longest champion in the modern era. He's pretty much outpower everybody. Surpass everybody. Asuka, Pete Dunne, everybody. You name it. Well, the pandemic helping a little bit. But I feel that like, he deserves it, and Rampage Brown was like the clear guy that he should have been, that like will get the championship from him. Why? Because like Walter seems to be that he's going to be working in the US more. So Rampage Brown was going to be, he was the right guy. Hey, you get the championship, you'll be fine, it's all good, and I'll be carrying the company right here, and then you can just go there, take care of business in the US. Whenever you feel like coming back, come back, we'll have the rematch. So that's what I feel that they could have done. They didn't do it, but in the end, like I said, Dr. Bomb, and then Walter will come with the chops. He'll do a sleeper hold also, and then he will go for like the power bomb combination, like very similar to what he did to Ciampa. But then Rampage Brown will respond to the 2 count, and then he went for like a big, splash, like the tsunami. And Bronson Reed's like way that how he does the thing. How he does like the splash, and then he will get the win. 1, 2, 3. Walter still remains the NXT UK champion. A lot of people like I want to say that like they're happy. A lot of people like they just want Walter to remain champion. We wanted Rampage Brown because it's just something different, and it was the right time. It's a big it's a big show for NXT UK. It's not a pay-per-view. It's not a takeover, but at least Prelude is something that they have to do to at least go toe to toe with WrestleMania, with Takeover, and all of that. Should have been the right opportunity. They didn't do it. They didn't cash in on that. They're in-ring general. He remains the champion, and like you guys see right there, staring at a Rampage Brown. He put a good showing. He tried. He came a little short. We'll see who the #1 contender is now. Jean Paul is saying Finn Balor. They want to do that match. They had the history before the pandemic. They wanted to go that way. They're going to go that route. Finn Balor going against Walter. They wanted to do that match. Unfortunately, pandemic stopped that idea. Maybe the idea can come back now. Why? Because Finn Balor just lost the championship against the NXT championship with Karrion Kross. So that's a perfect opportunity. Walter's in the US, Finn Balor's in the US. The only thing for me is they should have been held in Europe. Just because they're 2 European guys, is a European title, have them in Europe, the American titles, have them in America. European titles, have them in Europe. That is only my particular opinion, but that's what we have, family. And in the end, we got to see the in-ring general Walter or Bolta just celebrating and standing tall. And Rampage Brown, well, he'll have to wait for another opportunity. We'll see what happens with that, family. But this is the review that we have for NXT UK Prelude. Thank you so much. And I'm your host, Juanzo. Don't forget to please subscribe. For also for the Facebook on Raw Break, also on Twitter, the OG Raw Break, and in Instagram, the original Raw Break, and here, in the YouTube page, just subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, give the video a like if you loved it, and this helps the video to go up in the rankings, and that helps us to keep growing and to keep delivering this great content. Don't forget, also, family, we're going to be talking about SmackDown is going to be live. Jean Paul, myself, 20 minutes after the show is over, we're going to be talking about the go-home show for WrestleMania one more time. WrestleMania week is here, family. We're not going to rest. Also, we're going to be talking about TNA, Hardcore Justice. Tomorrow is going to be myself. We're going to be talking about every single thing that happens over there in that show. And then live, Saturday, Sunday, 2 nights of WrestleMania. So a lot of Raw Break for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. And like I said, just subscribe, helping us out grow. So I'm your host, Juanzo, and thank you so very much. And I'm going to say bye to you saying this.